Hello everyone, today's guide is going to be explaining my mindset and change of habits that got me from 4K to 10K MMR. Most people argue that climbing while playing support is hard or impossible even, but I would like to say that with the right mindset, you will be able to accomplish it. This guide is something that I wish I could access when I started my journey. I got my first Immortal around 2021, when the COVID hit, but looking back at the time I wasn't a good player. I got it off spamming Grimstroke and then fell back to 4K MMR. Then around 2023, I decided it's about time to change my approach, and this led me here, being 10K at the moment. I had to go through whole YouTube, buy access to sites that had content from pro players outdated by 3 years, getting coached by a lot of players, going through hundreds of replays, and then finally grinding towards that leaderboards. And all of this, every lesson I've learned since then, I will put into this guide. My goal is to have at least one player that goes from whatever the bracket is to whatever MMR he wants. I want to put over a year of my almost everyday learning into this guide, so you don't have to. I would be glad for a like under this video. Just keep in mind guys, this guide will be all about overall approach to drafting, support choice, and then adapting best so you get to climb. For game-specific videos you have plenty to pick from my channel, and I would argue that every single of the videos on the channel is a step towards getting high rank. I don't want vanilla fluff that will just get a lot of views. I want to go deeper into Dota strategy, so decision making in your games will become way easier. I have a very good series of my replays with commentary, so you get into my mind and you can see how 10K support player thinks. So let's go, I will teach you how to climb MMR as support. 1. Support choice. I consider myself average mechanically, and when I'm playing a core, I'm pretty underwhelming when it comes to blast hitting. Around 80% of the games I have played were position 4, while close to 20% were position 5. That said, I don't think it matters at all while playing in the non-leaderboards bracket, I mean either 4 or 5. It's great to learn both, but the difference is pretty much non-existent in the lower brackets. While generally position 4 gets more farm priority, I find it easier to get out of laning stage reacher as position 5, as you generally start in a better position and you have easier access to the camps. For sake of this guide, I will categorize supports into 2 brackets. 1. That is amplifying their cores, and 2. That can basically become a core themselves. This is bound to the heroes, but almost every hero can be played as both, albeit with the different success. So the pool for the first one would be heroes like Bane, Oracle, Clock, or Abaddon, while the others would be Furion, Weaver, Nyx or Magnus. This is just a rough idea, but the heroes that can't do things alone would fall into the first category, while the others would be in the second. Obviously, you can get Orchid on Clock and solo kill people, or you can become a defensive beast on Furion and show up to every fight, but that's just the rough categories. So when I started my climb, I realized the second category, so the more self-sufficient supports, make the game much easier and then climbing MMR as well. Why? Because when you are playing in a certain bracket, by playing towards your cores you will only get so far. Sure, if you play well you will win more games, but the goal of mine was not to spend years there. By exploiting the openings that opponents left, I was able to maintain a very good win rate while still supporting. Just make sure you learn both of the categories though. I do think when you reach a certain point, it's way easier to play the amplifying role, as good core player will be able to capitalize on things you do in order to make his game easier. At certain point, I would say around 7k MMR, if you get that solar crest for your carry with a good start, he will end the game in 25 minutes. If you are playing with someone clueless though, the game will go longer anyway, and you still got time to get defensive items for him. You will meet players that will completely pop off in the Asian bracket as well though, so all you need to do is just being able to recognize these games and build accordingly. So to sum this up, if you wanna climb fast and reliably, learn how to play self-sufficient supports. That means you can exploit certain things on the map. You see an enemy carry, you can kill him with Nyx. Free wave, it's so easy to farm with Hoodwink. A decent fight opening, go use that Blink RP with Magnus. While you're playing defensive supports like Abaddon Oracle, your options are limited. If you enjoy playing them, sure, just keep in mind your climb will take longer. And one more thing, notice how I said self-sufficient, not farming supports. While most of these heroes enjoy having more farm, that doesn't mean you will actively always hit creeps. A hero like a Nyx is a perfect example. You enjoy getting gold, but you will get it through kills. 2. Stop playing the game. Playing the game mindlessly is the worst idea you can have for MMR climb. Think about it. For how long you've been playing this game? I did since Dota 1, with some time off as well. And guess what? Only when I started being conscious about my improvement, I started to climb. What does that mean? As of now, you have so many ways to improve. You can watch content like mine, watch pro players' replays, get coached, or even ask high MMR players about certain things. Few days ago I created a post on Reddit Learn Dota where everyone could ask me questions about supports, and I made sure to answer all of them. My plan is to do that every week until people stop asking them. You can ask the questions under this video as well. My point is, you need to start learning from better players. I remember a game where I played Hoodwink 4 and Kidaru was being position 5 Naga. I had trouble surviving and I asked him, what should I be getting? He suggested me the bracers and then Dragon Lance. It was the patch where the bracers doubled up after 25 minutes. And guess what? We've won that game and I had over 2000 HP as Hoodwink. I would never go for double bracer on that hero, but in this certain game I had no way of playing far out of the fights as enemies had a lot of gap close. I had to make sure that even if they catch me, I can survive long enough so my death will have impact. 3. Dota is a team game. Keep in mind, while I suggested you playing more self-sufficient heroes, that doesn't mean you can ignore your team and just try to farm up for a victory. In the end, even if you transition to a core, most of the heroes in the game will have a head start on you, as they started to farm 7 to 10 minutes earlier than you. You're still a support. You're supposed to take farm, but don't make it as #1 priority for you. Always be available for a good fight. Carry a TP scroll. Take the farm your cores don't want to take. If you are near camp and you want to clear it, but your core is nearby, perhaps it's a good idea to take it at 45 seconds, so the camp respawns anyway, and not at 10 seconds, where you'll straight up steal farm from your carry's pattern. Be efficient. The fight is over, TP to the lane and farm it up. You're passing by a wave, throw that nuke. Or perhaps you're pressuring high ground. Go to the lane closest to the one that you're pushing and grab the wave that is leaving the base. All of it is small things, but they do add up. This is your ticket to good farm, not just AFK hitting camps while your team is dying somewhere. For gameplay tips, I'm suggesting you watch this channel. Here you can find a lot of information that aren't really available anywhere, at least in a convenient form. Dota is a simple game. If you ask yourself simple questions, it will make your game easier to play. And when you know the fundamentals, all that matters will be applying them correctly in your games. As I said, my goal is to provide you the tools that you can climb the MMR with. If I had the channel like this 2 years ago, the climb to the leaderboards would be so much easier. That's it. I know you might have a lot of questions about climbing as a support, so feel free to ask them in the comments. I will answer every single of them. My journey is a proof that you don't need to play core to climb MMR, all it takes is just proper approach. If you want to see more educational content that will lead you to getting the rank you want, subscribe to this channel. See you!